Hi guys, welcome to another episode of UBU Yoga. Today, Erin and I will be showing you guys a yogi classic, downward facing dog. What a great pose. It strengthens the shoulders, it stretches the legs. So let's get down to it. Erin, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, great. So let's start you off in tabletop position. Okay, keeping our wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's curl our toes under. Okay, pressing through our ball mounds to elevate the hips. Let's draw our chest toward our knees, pressing our hands into the earth. Go ahead and pedal the feet here. It's going to help loosen you up a little bit since this is your first downward dog of the day. And go ahead and breathe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, that feels good.
Okay, great. And I do encourage you to come out of this pose whenever you need to. We do a lot of work when we're in this position. And I'd also like to ask you how your wrists are feeling right about now.
So my wrists are feeling pretty good. They're a little sore and maybe a little more sore than I might normally say just because I haven't practiced in a couple days.
Right.
So I know that there are some good modifications out there. Are there any that you can share with me today?
I would love to share 2 wrist modifications
Sure.
with you today. A lot of people hold tension in the wrists, especially during downward facing dogs. So these are going to be great for me to show you, as well as our community out there. So let's get back into tabletop position. Okay, and let's go ahead and roll the top of your mat toward you. We're going to create a small wedge here. And let's place our hands on top of this roll. Okay, and we want to make sure that the heels of your wrists are on top of the roll, creating that support that you need. So when you're ready, I'm going to encourage you to take downward facing dog again. Okay. Straightening those legs, keeping a slight bend in the knee, pressing the hands toward the ground. How does this feel?
This feels better.
Okay.
I like this modification very, very much. It's amazing to me, Annie, what that little bit of support, that extra layer does for my wrist. It feels so much better. And it's just so deceptive. It didn't take a lot to incorporate that. This is actually a modification I'm very familiar with. I don't typically use it. I don't know that I necessarily think I need it, although you make me rethink things sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is a modification that I offer to students a lot. I know students that always grab props, and what I like about this is that your mat has 2 purposes in that particular pose, or has 2 particular uses. I love that modification.
I couldn't agree more. For me, it's like a prop within a prop.
Oh, well said.
I love that. Yeah. So I just love this one, but I would also love to show you one with blocks.
Sure.
Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a pop girl, and I normally have blocks with me no matter what my practice looks like. So I'm going to encourage you to bring your blocks onto the mat.
Okay. Do you have a particular setting in mind for the blocks?
Yes. For this, we're going to place the blocks on the lowest setting.
Okay.
Okay. Because what we want here, guys, is placing our hands on the width of the block. Okay, it's going to give us that support that we're looking for.
Sure.
So I'm going to encourage you to come back into the table, placing your hands on the blocks.
Yep, let me just get those little mini adjustments in there.
Okay, so your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Taking a deep breath. When you're ready, let's come back into our downward facing dog. Elevating those hips. Beautiful. Drawing those heels toward the earth. Pressing your hands now into the blocks here. How does this feel?
This feels even better.
Okay, yeah, you have so much more support here, and it's leaving all that tension away from the wrists. Okay, so when you're ready, I'm going to encourage you to come out of the pose. I don't want you to get too tired here. And I would actually love to get you into child's pose here.
I would love that.
Yeah. So from your comfortable table, let's shift our heels back, our hips back toward our heels rather. Okay. And find your child's pose. And I'm also going to suggest that you bring your hands back toward your feet. Okay. Maybe doing a few wrist rolls here. alleviating some of that tension. Beautiful. Go ahead and find some stillness now. Taking a few deep breaths in, a few deep breaths out. And only when you're ready, you can come out of the pose. So how does that feel?
Feels great.
Okay.
And it's funny. You used one of my favorite little cues within a cue, where you kind of reminded me, just as you remind your students, to come out when you are ready.
Yeah.
And that's funny because when you're in a class, you feel like everybody's ready at the same time, and we know that's not true.
No.
But I love that you kind of added that, so that like just to me, just for me,
Yeah.
even in a room of 20 people, that I should come out when I'm ready. So thank you for
Absolutely.
that.
You're welcome.
These modifications are fantastic.
Great.
I am a prop person, but I don't typically use blocks when I am in my down dog. But that felt really good. And I'm really going to try to like remember that, the next time I'm in a class where I'm actually taking it and not teaching it, to use blocks for my downward dog. There was such a relief in my wrist that I just really appreciated. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, and I'm so happy that you found more support for your downward facing dog and for your practice. And
Absolutely.
that's just, it's so great. I'm so happy to hear it. I'm so happy to help.
Good. No, I'm really very grateful to accept that help. So we hope that these 2 modifications, and believe me, there are more, are modifications that you'll think about, for the next time you're in your downward dog. Even if you're someone that's been practicing for weeks, months, years, and you do it every day. Sometimes we forget that our body yesterday isn't where we are today. So maybe you didn't need a prop or never thought about a prop before, but maybe it's something that you want to incorporate now. And whatever you decide to do, know that it is perfect, but always know that you have that support within arm's reach. Thank you so much for joining us today.